right. Yeah, hey guys, man, excited. It's finally game week. I feel like it's been a long time since December, and we've had a lot of work that we've put in since that time too. You think about all the new scholarship players that we have. The winter program, the spring that we went through, and then this summer. Our guys have worked extremely hard to come together as a football team, to be a connected football team, to be a disciplined football team, and those all the things that we've worked on this off season. So we're excited about actually playing somebody else and not hitting each other, and getting out on the field and then playing in Nippard, man. What a great venue that we get to play in. Would encourage everyone to show up and show out in this game. It's such a tremendous home field advantage for us to be able to play at Nippard, and so I'd encourage everybody to come out. If you're on the fence, come on out and watch our team play. We've got a lot of new guys, and they're exciting to watch. And also we got a lot of guys back that are exciting to watch. I think about first games from last year to coming into this year, and you think about offensively. I think we had one returning starter last year. And now we're sitting here with our, starting offensive line back, Corey Connor back. Xavier back. AT back. So there's a lot of guys back offensively, with the addition of some talented players that we feel. Sorsby, Joe Royer, a couple of wideouts. Upgraded tight end room. That's going to be nice. The thing about defensive side of the ball, you think about a bunch of new DBs, where we definitely needed to get some more talent in here, and we did, with a bunch of guys in the secondary. Which excited to watch those guys play. And then our linebacker room, man, I'm excited to watch that room, and maybe as any position. I feel like we got at least 6, 7 guys right there that'll be in rotation that will play in the game, and they can all run and hit. Really excited about that. So yeah, I mean, overall, we're pumped about being able to go forward and play this first game against Towson. We know their coach, it's his second season as well, and last year was around a 500 ball team, but man, they play hard. They're coached well. They get after it. They make it tough on their opponents. And they had a couple of good wins last year, upsetting a couple of teams, New Hampshire, William and Mary. So I got a tight end. I think he's up for some watch list type things. List him at 6'6". I mean, so he's a good player. They're going to try to get the ball to him. Running back runs hard. Defensively, they're an odd scheme, but they do bring a lot of different pressures from their linebackers, so they try to confuse offenses. But they do a nice job. Kicker's solid, so we certainly certainly have a good opponent here in this first week.
Questions for Coach, Chad, and Scott?
Any updates on Dante and what his availability might be?
No, still don't know. I mean, again, we'll take Dante day by day. As you guys know, he's been here all summer working out with the guys and the team, and he's gotten himself in great shape. The only thing he hasn't done is the 11-on-11 work, and so again, that remains to be seen. As soon as our doctors, cut him loose to play, we'll play him. So we're still sitting there waiting now.
This is a game you should win. Is this when you pull out the speech where you say, I think it was 2007, I was in Ann Arbor and look what happened? Beware.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this day and age in college football, anybody can beat anybody. You better show up and play, and it's the team that prepares the best and has their mind right on that game day. And obviously, Townsend's playing at a level up this week, and and I know I've been at that level. Anytime you play up, you want to play your very best. Wherever you're at, you're going to play a little bit better. You're going to be a little bit more attention to detail. So certainly get their best shot. And but I do think it's more about us. It's more about how we prepare, how hard we can go out and practice this week and get a great game plan and go out and execute. And I think that's what it's all about. But it's about getting your mind right.
You mentioned how deep and what a great group of linebackers you have, and obviously your D-line's a little depleted at this point. Do you do different things in this game, or maybe even down the road in future, to try to compensate with your linebacker group to make up for some of those deficiencies you have at D-line?
I think you start the season and you find you have an idea about maybe some things that we want to get done and do. To best help our team and best help our guys to be successful as individual players, because obviously there's strengths and weaknesses on your individual players. I think as we start to get in the first game, we got to find some things out. maybe guys play a little bit better than maybe we thought. Maybe you're able to rotate more and keep them fresh and they're playing harder or whatever it may be up front, because we got some numbers, but we got some guys that haven't played as much, so up front. So that's going to be interesting, I think. And I also think at linebacker, you think about Dingle. Dingle had to play so many snaps last year. We really couldn't sub him out. We feel like we can this year. So I think those guys will be fresh. When you think about second quarter and fourth quarter, and I told our defensive coaches, we have to have a plan early to, get guys in. Let's rotate, because I don't think there's a much drop off. I think the next guys coming in are going to be just as good, and they bring a little bit something different to the table. So, having said that, then yes, I think we can do some things to maybe take some pressure off the D-line, or you're able to move some linebackers around and maybe hit some different gaps with the linebackers. But I do think the beauty of it, we have a lot of different variety that we can do with that within Coach Vite's scheme. A 3-down, 3 linebackers, but you can interchange those guys in a lot of different ways.
There's obviously a lot of factors leading into this season that make it a really important season for you. Are you someone that feels that pressure? Are you compartmentalizing it? Do you kind of see this as a true year one with your program, or how are you looking at this upcoming season?
Man, I just take every season as it is, one single season, and to try to do the best we can possibly do. You can't really, you don't want to look back, you don't want to look ahead, you want to stay in the moment, you want to stay right here with this team and put out a product that can go out and win games. We worked our butts off this all season to try to put a better product out there on the field. We went out and found a bunch of players that we feel like will play for each other, that will give us a chance. You still got to go out and put a plan together and play. Then a lot of it depends on who you're playing week in and week out. And how these teams are. We sit here, we don't know. We don't know how these teams are going to be. I laugh at the preseason polls a lot, because you have no idea, particularly this day and age, with all this turnover that we have. Like, you don't know, and it's all based on what you did the previous year. And so you take it one game at a time, one season at a time, do the very best you can, and hope it's good enough.
You guys rushed for over 200 yards last year. What's the one key that makes your running game so successful?
Yeah, it starts up front, and I think that was a big unknown last year when you think about the offensive line. There's a lot of new starters, a lot of new first-time guys. They did a really nice job, I think. The other thing is we're patient with the running game. I think everybody knows, there's jokes out there about how much we run the ball sometimes, but we feel we're good at it. And I think if you stick to it and your guys believe in it, then they feel like they can get the yards. Corey Kiner had a great year last year. He runs really hard. He breaks tackles. He gets first downs. And, but I do also think if you can run the football and you play good defense, it's been a history in the history of college football, or NFL for that matter. If you can do those two things, and you win a lot of football games. So hopefully we'll still be able to run the football and play good defense and be able to win some games. But it does start up front with their guys, and we got a great group to start with.
Looks like they throw the ball a fair amount. You mentioned the tight end run. I know they've got 2 receivers, returning quarterback. How important is it for your new secondary to show out, and how improved are they?
Yeah, we'll find out Saturday. I think they certainly will be tested. This team likes to throw the ball, put the ball in the air. They got some talent out wide, including the tight end. They did get a transfer quarterback as well. So, they got a couple of guys that they may end up playing at the quarterback position. It'll be good to see. They'll spread us out. They'll do some things to try to, put pressure on us. But it'll be interesting to see how our guys respond, and can we create pressure at times? Can we get to the quarterback and, make him do some things that he doesn't want to do? And also, can we stay on top? That's the big thing that I'm obviously looking for, is not letting people get behind us. It's something we've worked on all summer and spring. So hopefully we'll be able to do that and mix it up defensively, so the quarterback, doesn't just sit there and know exactly what we're doing.
Especially in this league, run defense is going to be of the utmost importance against a team that throws it a little bit more. Do you hope they try to work it on the ground quite a bit, because you don't know where you're at? Yeah,
I think they like to run it too. Their running back is very capable, I think, with what they do. So you just never know, especially first games when guys come in, like what's their identity going to want to be on their team? You just don't know. I think as coaches, they're going to find out what they feel like they're good at and maybe try to do that more. But you just never know. So we have to be ready for everything. You have to be able to defend the run and the pass equally as effective. So we'll see. I think for me, obviously, first games, I think it's more important, like what our guys do, like, and how our guys play as an individual, but also as a unit. How what's going to be our best things that we do this year, and then where we got to get better at. So this first game is going to be to tell a lot about that. And the other thing is I'm excited about seeing a lot of players play. I think we got to play a lot of players early in the season because what I just mentioned, you're going to get guys dinged up throughout the season. But if you've played guys early, they've got some experience under their belt. You're not just throwing them in the fourth game or fifth game for the first time. They've been able to play. So, I told our staff, man, rotate guys, keep them fresh. Let's play a lot of guys. It also helps morale on a football team. To get guys in there, they know they're going to be able to play, and when they get that opportunity, they got to go make plays. And obviously, if you can make plays, you'll play more. So, but playing a lot of guys, I'm anxious to see how our guys do that.
What's Sorsby like game week? I know it's early in the week, but is there a switch that flips there even higher for your new quarterback?
We haven't experienced Sorsby in a game yet. Our staff hasn't. He's played a lot. But I think he's a guy I think that is excited for the game. I think he's probably more of a gamer. I mean, he's fine in practice, does a great job. But I think, man, when it's time to play ball, like he's going to be able to some unscheduled plays. He's going to be able to make some plays for you that in practice maybe you don't see as much. So I'm looking forward to watching that. And decision making. And he's still a relatively young player. I mean, he's only played 1 year, really, so, I'm sure he'll make some mistakes out there. And then how do you overcome those? How do you come back the next time? I mean, the great quarterbacks that I've been a part of, when they do make a mistake, they come back the next drive. Usually you go score a touchdown, so that'll be again interesting to see. But he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of ability. The team has responded around him, and but again, I think collectively as a unit, how are we going to be able to play? Because it's not just him. We got a lot of guys. The beauty of it is we got starters up front. We got a run game that we really rely on. So hopefully that'll make it easier for him.
What would you define as success in year two?
Oh man, hopefully we win some games, man. I mean, that's obviously that's what everybody looks at, and if you're not winning games, I mean, they don't see that as success. So hopefully we're winning games and we're able to go to postseason play, and I think that's certainly something that we're going to be, wanting to gear towards. I think for us, we talked about it all off season, is defending the nip. I mean, that's a big goal of ours and our team, and it starts this week because we're playing at home. And, so hopefully we're playing well here. We got a great home field advantage, packing this place out. And, we want teams when they come here to have to worry a little bit. That's a tough place to go play. So, I think that's our first goal, and hopefully we'll get that accomplished this week.
What do you see from Tyron Smith at higher ground, and what do you hope he can bring to your offense this season?
Yeah, he's an experienced receiver. I think about him and Jamoy Mays. We just looked it up. They both had over 1,000 yards in their career in a single season. They both have over 100 catches. And I think AT and Xavier have over 100 catches. I mean, there's 4 receivers with over 100 career catches in college football. It's pretty good to have that experience. But Tyron in particular is a guy who, he's not very big, but he can run. He's got a great knack and feel for spatial awareness, getting open in places and finding grass. He's got good hands. He can catch the deep ball, but he also can catch the underneath. So I think he's very versatile. I think him and AT will both of them provide something in the slot that we'll be able to rotate out and really not have any drop-off between either one of those guys. So I'm excited about both of those guys in the slot.
And preseason polls, not really knowing what kind of team you have. In your experience, is it after fall camp that do you know more now about this team after fall camp, or what week of the season do you kind of expect to know what team you have?
That's a great question. I asked Dan Horde, I said, all the years you've been covering the Bengals and the Bearcats, looking at them in camp, because he's a lot of practice, can you tell what kind of team they're going to have? He said, no, not really. I mean, it's hard to know, because, I feel like I know about the players that have played for us. Like I know how they're going to react on game day, but the new guys, I don't really truly know how they're going to react on game day. Sometimes guys play better on game day. Sometimes guys get in a little bit of a shell, so that remains to be seen. But I do think after 3 games, you get a good feel for the guys and how they're going to play. So you also don't know what all your opponents are going to be able to do. You don't know what kind of teams they're going to have. So, I mean, but I do think the guys that have played for us, we got a great feel and an indication of how they're going to play. Now, we hope the guys that have come in that had great fall camps, some of these freshmen, some of these transfers, we feel like they'll play at a high level, and that's what we're anxious to see.
If Dante can't go at nose guard, is it Burns, Rutherford, or TBD?
Yeah, both of those guys. I mean, all three. We'll rotate. You know, I'm sitting here looking at the depth chart, man. We got a lot of guys that will play up front. But you know, I think Cam has had a really good camp. You know, really good, man. He's, you know, doesn't always go the right way every time, you know, because he's still learning the system. But he does a great job of putting pressure in the pocket. Burns brings a little bit different. To me, Burns he's extremely quick up front, and it has caused some problems there for our offensive lines at times. Harris Adams is another guy who's a little bit different. He's a bigger guy. I feel like he can plug the gaps and really create some push, particularly on third down and goal line. You know, so, man, we're going to rotate those guys and keep them fresh, and hopefully they're making plays.
Dante aside, the orange jersey brigade was getting pretty big towards the end of camp, and when you came back to campus, is that getting any better as we get closer to game week?
It is. You know, we feel like we're getting some of the, you know, particularly O-line, D-line, you know, but got a lot of guys back. You know, Wilder right now is still a question mark. Buford's back, ready to go. Milan is back, still a question mark at O-line wise. Who else? Harder's back. He practiced at the end of last week. You know, so we feel like we're getting most all our guys back offensive line wise, which is really a good thing. You know, we kind of been banged up there, so it kind of hurts our scout teams on both sides, O-line and D-line. You know, and you know, we've talked about the D-line, a couple of guys that are out for the season, which hurts. Corleone's, you know, hadn't been able to go. So, I mean, those are three guys right there, potential starters, you know, that two of them are out and one of them we still don't know. So that's why I think D-line is kind of the big question mark for us because of, you know, the lack of people that we have there that have played.
You guys named your captains, and Derek Canteen was among them. When you sat down with him, when you're recruiting him out of the portal, did you expect that to be a possibility, or did he kind of exceed every expectation you set for him so far?
Yeah, I mean, certainly when you brought him in and talked to him, his parents, I mean, man, he's a high character guy, very, you know, speaks very well. And then I had some guys that I've coached with at Virginia Tech that said it would not surprise us if he's going to be a captain for you guys. I mean, they told us that. So he was well respected there at Virginia Tech. And then he, you know, right from the start in the winter workouts, man, we, you know, strength coach and strength staff was telling me that, hey, he's a good leader, you know. And then he just earned his respect from the guys. He tries to lift them up. He tries to, you know, continue to keep them playing at a high level. He does things right, you know. I think his dad was in the military for like 25 years, you know, so he comes from that type of family, you know, and very disciplined, doing things right. So it really wasn't a surprise when the guys voted him in, and you know, we're excited for him to be a leader and a captain on our team. And the other three certainly were not surprises. I mean, they've been the heart and soul of this team the last few years, and so I was glad they were rewarded as well.
Any other questions for Coach? Thank you,
All right,
sir.
thanks, guys.
We'll have quarterback Brendan Sorsby in first here. Questions for Brendan?
Brendan, take us through getting word that you were named QB1 and what it was like going through camp up to that point.
Yeah, you know, obviously Coach Thomas pulled me in there. We met separately. You know, he told me that I was a quarterback. I was fired up. I give all the credit, though, to the other QBs for pushing me. You know, it was a great camp, great spring. really couldn't have done it without those guys. And, you know, we just pushed each other to be better each and every single day. You know, really just fired up to lead these guys and, you know, go try to win some games.
They pursue you so hard, and a lot of people can just say, well, Brennan's going to be the guy. How much did Brady push you and to get that starting role? And did you kind of have to check yourself at any point and be like, oh, this isn't going to be granted to me? Like, I have to beat him.
Yeah, you know, obviously they told me that too whenever I came in. You know, whenever I was in the portal, they said, like, you're going to have to come in and compete for the job. And obviously I wasn't expecting anything to be handed to me. And, you know, I think me and Lichty did a good job of keeping the competition separate from our friendship and not letting it affect us and just going out there and supporting each other. And I think that was huge for both of us. You know, we were up there some nights watching film together and just trying to pick each other's brains and find ways to improve. But, you know, obviously coming into it, I knew that I was going to have to go earn a job, and you know, I'm excited to be the guy.
How important is it to get out to a quick start in this game and then for you to maybe take a lick or two?
Oh, very important. I think that'll, you know, kind of whip me into shape. First time I get hit, it'll be a good little wake-up call, and, you know, that it's really time to go and that season's here, because obviously fall camp's flown by. Same with spring ball. You know, obviously season's here. And, you know, we got to get off to a fast start. We got to start hot and just, you know, find ways to stack plays together, stack drives together, and go win a game each week.
How much did you feel like you improved through the higher ground experience, and what was that like being in that situation for probably the first time?
Yeah, no, it was really good. I felt like it was very important. I think it's awesome to do that with your team. You know, obviously being there with those guys, you're isolated and you really have no option but to be together. So it's good to be out there with those guys. But, you know, I think it was massive for just getting to only focus on football was really important for us. And I think as a team we improved overall. We got closer together. Just everything was much improved after that.
QB competition at Indiana. How differently did you approach this one compared to that year in Bloomington?
Really just a lot less stress, knowing that, you know, whatever happens, happens. You just got to go out there and do your job. Obviously, if you just go out there and you're just a ball of stress, you're going to play worse. If you go out there and have fun with it, you're gonna be better off. So really just going out there, having fun with it, you know, just whatever happens, happens kind of mentality.
This is an offense that it's balanced, but they like to run the ball a lot. Does that free you up a little bit, you know, when you get those opportunities that you know you're going to be able to lean on the run game and, you know, 200, 250 yards a game from them?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, obviously whenever you can run the ball very efficiently, it's going to free up the pass game like you just said. And obviously Corey ran for over 1,000 yards last year, so that's pretty nice to just be able to turn around and hand the ball off to him. And the other guys that we have back there, I'm really confident in as well. So, you know, I don't have a problem handing the ball off. Trust me, if we win games, I don't care how it gets done. So if that's running the ball every single play of the game, then let's do it. But hopefully we get to throw a couple passes, obviously. But, you know, I'm obviously cool with whatever.
The metrics say you're a big play action guy. Is that something you look forward to in this system, to be able to play off of that run game and get into that play action some?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, like, I'm going to piggyback off you again, but whenever you have that good of a run game, it just makes it that much easier for you. So obviously getting out on the perimeter and making plays, obviously off the play action, it'll be fun to get out there and do.
How much of a difference maker can Joe Royer be?
Well, if he wasn't sitting in the room, I'd hype him up a little bit more right now. But
well, he told me to ask.
No, he told you to ask you. He's obviously a huge difference maker. You can put it anywhere, and he's going to go get it for you. He'll make you right majority of the time, obviously, and you don't have to be perfect when throwing him the ball, which is really nice. He's a nice big target, and he's going to be a big-time player for us this year.
What about the other receivers? Xavier, you kind of know about, but how about any of the new guys that people might need to be looking at?
Yeah, so obviously just one guy that just got here who's been really impressive is Jamoy. He got here over the summer. He's been really good for us. Excited to throw to him this year, and obviously all the other guys that we have, you know. But really just getting out there and just getting game reps will be huge for us going forward. I mean, we're going to have so many guys that get in at wide out that will make big plays for us, so I'm just excited to see what they can do.
Brendan, you had
The opportunity to come here in 2022, your freshman season. Talk about the excitement now to be on the opposite side of this thing heading into Saturday.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very excited to see what this atmosphere is all about. Obviously, I've heard great things. I'm looking forward to seeing it firsthand, and hopefully we have a packed house. I'm confident that our fan base will pack the nip, and we'll be good to go.
Coach Satterfield said that you'll have some opportunities for unscheduled plays during the game that you can't really do in practice. He also said you'll probably make some mistakes and you'll have to learn from them. Are you someone that's going to err on the side of being aggressive instead of erring on the side of being conservative? And how do you kind of balance making the right decision between making
Yeah, I think that there is a time and a place to be aggressive, obviously. Certain situations where you don't need to be aggressive. And like you just said, there's a fine balance and a fine line of being too aggressive and then being too conservative as well. I think that if you can, I think if you're aggressive, you have a chance to make obviously more mistakes, but you can also make some great plays that wouldn't happen if you were being conservative. So, I'm going to try to go out there and just find that fine line of, maybe I make a couple mistakes here and there, but it's the first game. Obviously mistakes are going to happen. So really just trust the preparation, see it and rip it and just go out there and have fun with it.
Why do you think this team will exceed expectations this year?
Obviously, we're not going to put a cap on what we can or can't do. And I'm just excited to see what we can do because I've been practicing with these guys for 7-8 months now, and I've seen the talent that we do have, and I'm very excited to get out there and show the world what we can do, and take it 1 week at a time and see how many wins we can stack together, and shoot, we'll see where we are here in a few months, but I'm really excited.
Family coming to the game, and what's the reaction been like around Lake Dallas now that they know they got to watch some Bearcat football this season?
Yeah, obviously everybody's fired up back home. Got some family coming to the game, couple cousins, couple buddies. It'll be fun to see them and good to see them, but obviously everybody back home, coaches, friends back home, obviously all excited, ready to watch some Bearcat football.
Any questions for Brendan? Thank you, sir.
Sweet.
Questions for Joe?
Joe, you obviously wanted to come in and make a good impression and have a good fall camp. Were you surprised at how good you were at points in time? I saw you flip a ball away once. I still don't believe I caught that. One-handed over the middle.
Yeah. No, not really. Honestly, this is probably the most confident I've been playing football in a long time. My career at Ohio State was dealing with a bunch of things. But, I had a full healthy camp and just was out there consistently. And as time, my confidence kept growing and growing, and being able to kind of make some of those plays felt good.
Since you were in the room, I can ask you, is Joe Royer going to be an impact player? And this isn't quite like Elder and Moeller, but this is a big game for you at home.
Yeah. I hope so. With practicing every day, I hope I've showed the coaches and Brendan that they can trust me if they need me to make a play. And when my number's called, be able to do so. But, like you said, it's not Elder or Moeller anymore. I'm super excited to play in a packed Nippert Stadium. I played here a couple of times back in high school, but never the real thing. So I'm super excited and looking forward to Saturday.
Going along with playing here in Cincinnati, there's a long line of great tight ends to come through this university. Does that put pressure on you to live up to what they did before you?
No, I wouldn't say it's pressure. Just kind of more of a motivator, I would say. We've had great tight ends that come through here, and I don't feel pressured at all, feeling like I got to live up to them. I just kind of want to do what I do, and if I'm blessed and lucky enough to be able to be named one of them, then that will be it. So.
There's some pretty good guys behind you, but young fella Grover on the way up, is he the next? Once you're done, whenever that is he the next?
Yeah, I think Gavin's he's a great player. He came in as a freshman. He was very eager to learn, picked up the playbook fast, and that's sometimes rare, especially at a tight end position, because besides like quarterback, I feel like on offense the tight end has to kind of know the most things. We got a pass pro, run block, run routes, all that type of stuff. But, he's good. He's a big dude. He's 6'7", already like 250, and he'll only get stronger and faster as his college career goes on. So I think he'll be a great player, and I think he'll play a decent amount of ball for us this season too.
Where are you at in terms of comfort level with this offense? Or do you feel like you've got, everything completely down, or do you need some game reps to really kind of get a feel for everything?
No, I say I feel pretty comfortable. I picked it up pretty quick. It's going to be my 5th season, so I kind of understand how to work a playbook and figure it out. So I feel like I picked it up quicker. But yeah, I feel comfortable. But with game reps, I mean, everything will kind of be a little easier and be less stressful and everything. Once I get out there Saturday, get a couple plays in, and feel good. But yeah, I feel pretty comfortable where I'm at.
Knowing you're the number 1 tight end, are you someone that sets a number in your mind in terms of receiving yards or touchdowns, or is it kind of, I just take it week by week and put my best effort out there?
I don't have any expectations for myself or anything this season. Just kind of want to go out there each week, show you guys, my family here, and just the fans, kind of what I'm capable of doing. And as each week goes by, if I'm able to catch a decent amount of balls and stuff, then that'll be great. But no, I don't have a number or anything in mind.
Speaking of having your family here this weekend, do you have an exact number of how many of your family members will be in attendance for your first game in Cincinnati?
No, not exactly. I know we get like 4 tickets to give out to our family from the university, but I know my dad, he bought a bunch of season tickets, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure there'll be a good amount.
You said this is the most most confident you've been in a while. Is this the most excited you've been in a while for a football season? When you played Ohio State, obviously you had a lot of layers you had to go through to get playing time. Here, the expectation is you're going to have a really big role.
Yeah.
Does it add to the excitement of what you could be this year?
Yeah, I'm super excited and confident where I'm at. Like you said, kind of was dealing with a bunch of different things at Ohio State, so I never was really to get my clear kind of path to being the guy. But with that, I'm super excited, really excited and confident to play. It's been a long time since I played a lot of football, so I just want to get out there on the field. That's really about it.
You mentioned you're excited to show people what you're capable of. What do you think you're capable of, Joe, in this offense?
As we've kind of talked about I listened in on Brendan's kind of thing. We run the ball a lot, and I feel like as my college career has gone, I've gotten a lot better in the run game, kind of blocking than with play action. We talked about that. That's big in this offense as well. Kind of being a guy to run down the middle of the field, make a good catch, stretch the field. And honestly, I think I'm best kind of at receiving because I played wide receiver at Elder, so that's kind of my strong suit. So I feel like in the pass game I can be a weapon and do a good job blocking as well.
A lot of great tight ends in the NFL right now, including UC alum Travis Kelce. Are there any of them that you watch kind of model your game after, whether currently playing or have played throughout NFL history?
I'd say definitely Travis. As I mentioned, I'm kind of more of a receiving type guy, but also block. But just his kind of feel for the route game, it's second to none. He's up there. He's a better receiver than some of the receivers in the NFL, and just kind of seeing how he runs routes, attacks leverage, finds holes in zones. You can't really teach that. Some guys kind of just have a good feel for it. So just kind of watching him and trying to see what he sees, it's helped me for sure.
Between your family and then Jake Golday, will it be tough to stock a number 11 jersey in any of the stores?
I'm not sure. I hope so. Hopefully, see a lot of 11s out there, whether it's mine or Jake's. But yeah, I hope there's a lot of 11s out there.
You played with C.J. Stroud at Ohio State. He's turned into such a good pro. He's already in conversation as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. How much did he help you grow, and how much did he teach you at Ohio State to make you into such a better player?
Yeah, with a guy like that, you got to listen to kind of what he says, even if you might not agree with it. But kind of the main thing is it's really not what you see on the field. It's kind of what the quarterback sees. So if you might see something different than the quarterback, there's only one page in football, and it's a quarterback's page. So just trying to, getting reps with him over time of my career there and trying to get on the same page, even if we weren't like communicating, if I was in the middle of a route, kind of seeing something, that's helped. And, just meeting with him, watching film, kind of doing things that he might want me to do. Maybe seeing a different kind of a view on things has helped me for sure.
Any questions for Jeff? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Questions for defensive back Derek Canteen?
Derek recently named a captain on a new team. How much did that mean to you that your teammates bestowed you with that honor?
It was a great honor and really a privilege. It's something, being in college football and just playing sports, something like that coming from your teammates, coming from something that's, voted upon is, just something I don't take for granted. It's something I feel you have to earn. So, I'm in one sense proud of myself, but at the same time appreciative of my teammates for just trusting me, teammates and staff for trusting me since I've been here, trusting me and pushing me to lead. Especially the staff since I've gone here, the message have been, I'm coming in not only to make plays but also to lead. So any chance I can, I want to do that, and I'll continue to do that.
Coach brought up your dad's military background. How does that help you lead and do what you've been able to do so far?
Oh yeah, with my dad being military, and also other family members and how I was raised around, a military, population, it just kind of installed the discipline and, my character, how I go about treating people, things like that. I remember watching my dad early in the morning, being very detailed, cleaning his shoes, putting on a uniform. So just the work ethic, the consistency, things like that, and also again just treating people with respect. It goes a long way.
Around what age or what grade did you kind of realize you had those leadership capabilities, and when were you maybe first named a captain in your life?
As far as being a captain, this is the first time I've actually been voted captain. I've been in many leadership roles in high school. We didn't really vote captains. Every game was kind of different. We had different people go and do the coin toss. And I've never have been in college. So this is the first time I've actually been officially voted captain. But as far as going back to growing up of being these characteristics that we were talking about, I'll say probably like middle school is when I just started to see how it was different. See how the way my dad raised me and the way how overall I was raised, how it kind of showed just simple things, saying yes ma'am, yes sir, looking someone in the eye when you talk, just how I went about things. It was kind of different at first, but it's carried me, and I've always gotten compliments from older people, and just something I just stuck with.
Sauce Gardner is one of many great corners, safeties, defensive backs in the NFL. Throughout history in the NFL, are there any defensive backs you watched kind of model your game after?
Yeah, I remember Sauce and Kobe and those guys, even when they were in college. Just seeing those guys, the production they had, that team in general. Sauce had an amazing year, obviously not giving up many catches and his percentage and things like that. And to carry it on in the NFL, I still watch his game. I don't watch as much because, we have different body types, but I do watch a lot of Kobe Bryant. I love his game. But just in general, speaking NFL, I watch a lot of Kenny Moore, Buda Baker, just different players in different positions. I grew up a Patrick Peterson fan, so different players, not only just safety, but corners, just all in general. It's really like a mindset thing. And recently, I think the most that I've been watching is Tyrann Mathieu.
A lot of new guys in the secondary, you included. I keep hearing the term collective, cohesive, all that stuff. It looked like you bonded pretty well at higher ground, particularly when you threw Coach Combs into the tub there. But does this all translate to the field? This team you're playing is going to throw the ball a fair amount.
Yeah, I think it does. Not only just for a secondary, but as a team. I can't speak enough of how good higher grounds was for our secondary. But again, like I said, our team. With having a lot of transfers and you have young players that's going to play, it's things like that are important. You know, it does translate to the field. It builds the chemistry, it builds the camaraderie. It builds the overall trust in each other. I feel, especially in the secondary, we have a lot of depth. We have a ton of players that can play any snap and go in and play different positions, things like that. So, you know, when you're going into a game, that's important because not only for that particular game, but down the season, you know, you're going to need everybody. And with this league being such a passing league and, you know, a physical league, you have great running backs, great receivers, great offenses. You need everyone, and you need depth, and I feel like that's something we have.
You were not here last year. I'm curious, though, as a team, how much you guys talk about last season, improving on it, being better this year, exceeding expectations. You know, if you listen to people outside of the program, the expectations aren't high for this team. How much do you guys look forward to exceeding those expectations?
I think as far as last year, majority of it got talked about for me when I first got here. You know, when I was in the recruiting process, I asked those questions. You know, how you go about last season? Like, what was the mindset? What was going to be the difference? And you know, from Coach Saddle on down, everything was using as fuel. You know, they didn't back away from it. They embraced it. They accepted the challenge, and they told me that they were using that again as fuel to create an off season that was going to be hard, so that when we get to the season, everything becomes easier. And I agree, this is one of the hardest off seasons I've been a part of. I feel as if not only the coaching staff but the players, everyone's bought in and took that season and took what the pain that came from it and built upon it. And I feel like we'll be a better team because of it. And going on into the expectations, I think Coach Sat does a great job. You know, he tells us not to listen to the outside noise. Regardless, people have good things or bad things to say. And, yeah, you can get caught up. You can look at it. You can look at it as fuel. But for me personally, I just don't look at it. I just worry about, you know, the next play, the next team, and the next assignment. Appreciate it.